Hey guys, thanks for coming to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about the DIY lash extensions and my update on them and some little tips and tricks that I have learned from doing this several times. So if you guys want to see how I do this and my thoughts on it, let's get into it. Alright, so for the DIY lash extensions, it's kind of hard to say, I did a video a couple weeks ago and I told you guys about using the Lashify glue but not using their lashes. If you have not seen that video, I would suggest looking at that one first. I actually apply them and talk about all the Lashify stuff. So if you want to watch that, I'll have it linked below. But basically, I just use this Lashify glue. So Lashify sells their glue and the lashes in a kit for like $150. So to me, that's a little ridiculous of a price when that's like how much it is to go get lash extensions done in a salon. So to do it at home by yourself, I feel should be cheaper than that. But the secret is just buying the glue, which the glue is only $20, I think 21 something. So if you just get the glue, you can use whatever lashes you want. So if you just get the glue, you're going to be able to do the same kind of DIY lash extensions at home, but you can use whatever lashes you want. That's the awesome thing about this. I've tried, this is my 4th time applying them now. I've used different brands every time and they pretty much work the same. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts and little tips and tricks. I just think it's an awesome way to do some lashes. They have lasted me 5 to 7 days each time. Definitely not going to last you 2 weeks. They usually come off on the outer corner or inner corner first just because I have less lashes there that they can like hang on to. So let's get into talking a little bit about actually how I apply them and what I've kind of done differently, or little things that I've learned. So first thing is I suggested to get the Lashify Remover because Brittany Vasseur in her video, which is where I learned to do this, she suggested buying the Lashify Remover because regular makeup remover didn't work for her. I actually have not used this. I don't feel like I need to remove anything when they come off. There's like a little bit of a sticky residue when you take the lashes off, but it's not anything that bothers me that I need to like remove, and like the next day when I wash my face it's pretty much gone. If you want to purchase this you can, but I would suggest trying it without and then maybe order this if you feel you need to. But it was another 20 something dollars that I don't think you need. So you just need the Lashify double-ended, what is it called? Whisper Light Flexible Bond double-ended kind of glue. There's a black glue and a white glue. So you just need this, and then you do need some kind of tweezers that are kind of curved like this. So mine are from Tarte, and I was going to link them below on my last video, but I couldn't find these anymore. So I don't know if they don't make them anymore or what, but the one on the Lashify site is like 40 something dollars. So if you can find any like this for cheaper, go ahead and get the cheaper ones, but you just need something that's going to be flat enough to clamp down on your lashes pretty good. So the first thing I want to suggest is make sure that your tweezers and your scissors are clean when you do this. One of the times I kind of was using the tweezers and I didn't directly clean them first, and what happens is the tweezers get stuck to the lash, and when you set it on there, you go to lift the tweezers and it just pulls the lash with it. So make sure every single time you do this before you apply the lashes, you clean your tweezers and your scissors and everything really well. So then when you take your lash, these ones are the ones that I used today. They're just really cheap ones, like from China, kind of like from a site like Wish or something. I think it was like 3 for like $2 or something. These ones do have a thicker band, which in my first video I was like, you probably need some with a really thin band. is probably going to make a difference. Even a thicker band works okay as long as it's not too thick. The problem I did have last time though is the band was really sticky. So what was happening is I would try to like pinch it back on the next day with my tweezers, and it would want to stick to the tweezers because it's sticky on this bottom side, and it would just want to pull them off. So what I did today is, if it is slightly sticky, just take your fingers and like, you know, like stick them on there and get rid of that tackiness. And that really helped. I feel like it didn't stick like it did the last time when I did this. Also, another thing, before I cut them into, I cut them into 4 pieces. So before I actually cut it into the 4 pieces, I trim off, there's like a little piece in the front, usually that doesn't have any lashes. So I trim that off. And then I also take off a good amount on the back side because these lashes are way too long for me, and just kind of measure your eye and see how long you're going to need it. But I usually trim off quite a big chunk at the end. Then what I'll do is I'll take it, then I'll cut it in half, and then I'll cut each of those in half. It's very tricky, and you want to keep them in the order that they're in. So then I have 4 little chunks. And then what I do when I go to apply them, I'll just pick them up with the tweezers and apply some of the white glue to this top side right here. But also another thing that's very important to do that I did not do the first time was make sure you're trimming off any like loose piece or like little tiny hair that's going sideways or anything like that. You want to just make sure it's nice and clean. There's nothing sticking out weird. Because the first time I applied them, one of the hairs went down and was actually stabbing me in the eyeball half the time. So it took me a long time to figure out that's what happened. And then another thing that I do when I go to put it on my eye is I will take my finger and just kind of lift up my eyelid so I can really see where my lash line is. Because if you're just kind of going like this, I felt like I was putting it way too far out. So you just want to get it as close to your lash line as possible. And I just think, you know, doing a little lift, eyelid lift thingy works really well. Okay, hi, it's me from like a week or 2 later. I realized I left out a very important part to my lash update. So the thing about lashes is that when they're on your eyes and you're applying makeup, especially like face powders and stuff, your lashes can look very dull and dingy and just kind of washed out. Like they don't look good and black anymore. So the thing that I have been doing, you can go in with like a eyeliner pen and kind of draw on there. I also like to actually draw a line on my lid. I feel like it kind of defines the area better, gets it a little darker. But the main thing that I was doing is taking any kind of setting spray, you can even use water, whatever, spray some on your hand and take a little fine, like a little fine angled brush like this. This one's actually for brows. It's got a spoolie on the other end, but just whatever kind of little brush you like to work with for eyeliner. I get it all wet and it already has black on it from me using it. Then I'll go into a black eyeshadow. You can use any black eyeshadow. I would suggest one with no shimmer or glitter in it. This is just from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. So I'll just rub it in there, and then I'll go ahead and draw a nice little line on top of the lash, just kind of defining that area. And then I will take it, you want it really wet for this. You want to draw, I kind of close my eyes, pull it down slightly, and I just kind of draw on the very top of the lashes to coat the top in some darker pigment, and then I go along and I just kind of, it's almost like painting them. You just kind of paint it on there, and what that does is gets rid of the powdery, fine, weird look, and it gives it that more black definition again. So if you're having that issue with any kind of lash extensions, that's what I've been doing, and it works really well to just redefine them. If you're someone who doesn't really wear a lot of makeup, you probably don't have that issue, but if you're doing a full face of makeup with these DIY lash extensions, that's like the main issue that I was having with them, is like you have to do something, and you kind of can't really clean them the same that you can with real lash extensions, because if you start running a spoolie through it and like rubbing it like you can with real lash extensions to clean them, I think they're just gonna fall off. So just doing that, and I just wanted to add that because I forgot to mention. So now back to the rest of the other video. I really like doing this. I feel like it looks really nice. It looks a lot more like lash extensions than a strip lash normally does. For some reason, applying them underneath and also cutting them just helps make it look a little more natural. So that's my little update on this like DIY lash extension system. I really love it. And I also have seen a couple other brands come out with this same type of thing where it's like these little sections of lashes and a glue and you apply it underneath. They're probably very similar, but I did notice they're also really expensive. So until I see a brand that's cheaper, I think I'm just going to stick with Lashify. Let me give you a little close up. And I don't have any eyeshadow on yet today. I just kind of wanted to leave it blank so you guys could really see. But I really love doing it. It's so easy. The only thing is that you can't rub your eyes when you have this on. Like if you do that, you're just gonna mess it all up. Which I think is the same for lash extensions. I don't think you can really like rub your eyes. But there's been a couple times where my eyes really itch and I'm like, oh, I wish I could just rub my eye right now. And I can't because I don't want to mess it up. But I think that's kind of a good thing because you want to be very gentle with the skin around your eyes anyways. It's very, very thin, fragile skin, and just rubbing it probably isn't the best for it anyways. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already and ring the little notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload. I've been uploading 3 times a week. And I will see you guys in the next video.